So I wish back then I'd never ask for anything again. Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Remember when you're talking to the man upstairs, and just because he doesn't answer doesn't mean he don't care. 'Cause some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Life Lesson Station, coming to you live from beautiful Alberta, Canada. I'm so glad you guys all tuned in this week, because this week we have a very special show. We have my special friend, Christine Mason. Hi, Christine.
Hi.
She's joining us also from the Edmonton area, and she's got a beautiful message of hope to share with all of you and all the parents that have a family member or friend dealing with this special needs. So I'm glad you're here, Christine. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And before I do a quick intro, I want to say hi to everybody in the chat room. So thank you. Hi, Chantal. And we have Chantal. Hi, Chantal. And Chantal, some love. I'm glad you guys are here. Shout out. And so it's nice to have friends for support in live shows like these, Christine?
Yes, it definitely is.
Yeah. So before we get started, I have a beautiful quote from Christine, and I posted on the screen. It says, "Never give up, because tomorrow is a clean slate." Christine Mason. How nice is that? That's
Thank goodness for that, you know.
They are a clean slate. So today's a clean slate. Here we go. And let me just hide this. Okay. So now, before we have our conversation with Christine, I would like to read a quick intro. Ready, Christine?
Yes.
Okay. Christine Mason is the mother of 3 wonderful children. She was born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta, and was the best neighbor anyone could ask for. She has worked as a caregiver also in administration, and she was also a super mom to her 3 children. She had to familiarize herself with the special care required to raise children with special needs, and has learned many valuable lessons, and she is now ready to share her story and messages of hope to others dealing with a family member with special need. Christine, I'm so grateful you said yes and decided to come on the show to share your message. By sharing your story, you will help others know that they are not alone, that there's other families dealing with similar situation. Thank you for sharing your story and messages of hope. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for the wonderful intro. It was very nice, Anna.
Oh, you're welcome. Very welcome. And if you notice, everybody, we have a beach theme going on. How come, Christine? Why do we have the ocean in the background?
You know what? That it gives me peace. It gives me peace, and I love it. It's calmness. It's just, and it's so big. The ocean is huge, and it's just, you still, I don't know. It just, I can't even describe it. It's just day to day, you know. It's peace. It's relaxation. It's just center. It's calming, you know.
Totally.
And in the midst of all this, you know what? The vacation was always my place to go, you know, and it was just wonderful, you know.
Yeah, you love your beach vacation, don't you? And your cruises too.
Water. I love water.
Yeah.
Water. Yeah.
And I've noticed that your shirt is kind of matching the background too. Very nice.
Thank you.
All right. So, folks, if you have any question for Christine, we have some comment here. Here's a nice comment from Chantal. Hi, my girls. And then
hi.
XOXO. And then Chantal wrote, glad to make it live. So thank you so much.
Hi, Chantal.
Feel free to post your question, ladies or gentlemen, if there's a gentleman watching. Okay, so Christine, can you please share some of your life experiences and tell us about your background?
Did you change that question from our last?
A little bit, yes. But you
Thanks,
can go
Anna.
back to the first
It's
question
good.
if you want.
You know what, people, this is who I am. Yes, I will crack jokes, and I do that a lot, and that's one of my biggest coping mechanisms. My life experiences, you know what, I didn't. There was not a lot of mental illness in our home, and if there was, it was never talked about. Everything was kind of hush hush. You sweep it under the carpet, and we go on with life. And it was something that, I guess, it just, maybe in the time that I grew up, it wasn't very out there. You know, nobody really said anything. I you know, I'm trying to remember what I had written down, and I can't, so I'm going to wing this. I think that's why it's so important to me, because I think mental illness should be, it should be talked about.
Yes.
It's the same shameful thing. Everybody knows somebody or has it themselves.
Yes.
Everybody struggles with, whether it be depression or ADHD or bipolar or any of those other ones. There's so many out there. Everybody is always touched in some way or another. And the more we get it out there, the more we talk about it, the more we realize that this isn't something to hide from. The more that we know, the more we can help. And you know what? People dealing with this stuff are awesome. All of them. You know, there's a lot of people that I've met. My family is one of them. My kids, I've learned so much from them. It's just, it's been a really growing and learning process. I'm gonna start when I worked at a nursing home and I worked on the mental health unit. I never really realized how important that was going to play for the rest of my life, and it did. I worked. I was on a locked unit. I learned so many different things, and a lot of the patients came from the Alberta hospital, and you had to have so much patience, you know, and understanding. And I did that for 3.5 years. And I laughed through a lot of it. There was a lot of stories that I have about working there, you know, and it was such a learning thing for the next step in my life. And that was, I became a mom at 21 for my older son. I was a single mom at the time.
Okay.
You know, there was not a lot of mental illness. They did think he was dealing with ADHD maybe, and it was not something that we talked about in my family. So I swept it under the rug, just like I was taught, you know. And you know, now 28 years later, that kid doesn't stop moving. But you know what? I love him. He's a great. But it didn't really come to play until I had my younger two. It was right in my face.
Okay.
I got married, and when I was 28, and I had my second child at 30, and I had my younger son, Michael, at 33. So I can't remember what your question was, Dana, but
That's just the background. We didn't even start with the other question. But I just love what everything you said is amazing, Christine. And I love hearing your story. And Christine is right, people at home. Like, you have to bring the light to those issues so we can all work together for solutions, you know, and especially right now with what's happening in the world, it's mental health is at the forefront. I mean, yes, we have to be safe and take all the safety precaution we can, but not forget about mental health. That's important too, right?
yeah.
So okay. So Christine, that's a great intro. Thank you for sharing some of your story. And when you were older and you became the mother of 3 beautiful children, can you share some of your experience and how motherhood changed your life? So you kind of talked about that, but when did it become part of your awareness? What was going on with the younger ones, maybe?
You know what, I think what happened with even when I had Justin, You know what? I kind of have to start from there because I did learn a lot even at that point. Patience, understanding. I didn't have a lot of it, at that point at 21. Um, but after I got married, and you know what? After I had my daughter, she she was she was she was like I always used to say, well, even now she's my ray of sunshine.
Aw,
She's
she's
one of
cute.
my She is. She is one of my harder children, only because her and I think are a lot alike. So, or maybe, I don't know, oil and water. I'm not really sure, but you know what? She is my ray of sunshine. But she used to be she wanted to be the center of attention always. She talked constantly. Even now, she doesn't ever stop. Um, you know, she kind of became my center, everything. So when she was 3, they couldn't really kind of figure out what was going on with her because they didn't know. And I was told that we just know it's something, but we're not sure what.
Okay.
You know what? When she hit grade 1, um, she went to school, no problems. And there were some days that I would have to put her under my arm like a football and carry her in because she wasn't going to go.
Okay.
Like a lot of parents, right? A lot of kids have anxiety.
Yeah.
Then the teacher would have her in for a day and then say, well, she can take a break and she doesn't need to come tomorrow. And that wasn't good enough for me because there was a reason and I wasn't going to accept it. And that's, I think, the start of when advocating came into play because some people might think it's okay. And it wasn't for me because this child is having difficulty. You're having problems with her. We're having problems with her. But I wasn't going to let him sweep this under the rug as well, right? During this time, my son was he wasn't speaking. So
Okay.
3 years younger than Brittany, and he never spoke. He was so quiet, good. He went to the store and it's almost like comatose kind of thing. He just was so good. Never said a word. And until my best friend Chantel, hi Chantel, she, with after a lot of consideration, we talked about it and brought it up with me. And I think it was probably one of the hardest things she's ever done.
Oh, yeah.
But I said I wasn't going to cry, but I'm sorry. But it's the best thing that she ever did.
Because she's a good friend.
Yeah. Because she, in fact, sorry. She saved us, because we could have ignored it because he was not saying anything, but he wasn't speaking because he was delayed. So we got him, excuse me, we got him into a program for speech language, and he stayed there so at 3, he
Okay.
a typical family where he stayed at home and you have time with your youngest. I never had that.
No.
Brittany was in her program, them wanting to take her out for days, and Michael was in the same program. Or same school, I should say. Anyway, he spent 2 years in there, and then Brittany went into grade 2. Now, I was told that to advocate for her, there was no way that I can get her into any programs because she was too old. And this is at 7 and 8.
Oh, wow.
So to be too old and that she's kind of, we've missed them. Mm-hmm.
And that's it? Like, good luck?
I was told that a teacher had to write a letter.
Wow.
That kept saying, well, she can miss a day here and miss a day there. Didn't want to do that because she was a good kid. She never yelled. She never screamed. She was just hyper and she didn't understand. Her comprehension was so low, and she was a joy. So nobody ever wanted to. It's with all my children. They're the quiet one, or not the quiet ones. They're pleasant.
Yes, they are.
They're not mean, rude, nothing. So nobody wants to shake the boat or whatever you want to call it. Nobody wanted to do that. because why bother them? They're great.
I actually, Christine, if I may interrupt, I agree with your statement. Like I've seen your children grow since they're little, and I've never seen them mean. You're right.
No.
They're so kind-hearted, and sure, like they got hurt and cried, but like it was legit, right? So that is beautiful. They have such beautiful hearts, you know.
They do, but unfortunately, it was people looked at that as being, it's all good then, you know. They're not saying anything, so let's not rock the boat, you know. So anyway, I had a teacher in grade 2 who thankfully wrote a letter and said that she was being disruptive because she started to become disruptive.
Okay.
Disruptive. And you know what? Disruptive for her was breaking pencils. You know, nothing. And she was climbing over the back of her seat. That was it. You know? Yeah, you're right, Chantel.
Yeah. So Chantal wrote a comment in the audience, and she says, once the children become adults, there's even less funding for mental health. Now, can you talk about that? Because your kids are over 18 now. Can you say something about that? Okay.
You know what? Yeah, my Brittany is now 21. She has funding. She did get funding because her IQ was low enough. So she's on AISH, and that was able to help her. And we're working on the process of trying to get her to go out in the community and eventually work part-time or to give back in some way.
Nice.
It's a slow process with Britt.
Okay.
With Michael, he just turned 18. Now that we're kind of in the middle of COVID, it's a little bit harder. Because there's not as many jobs available. With these guys, with mine anyway, you have to have patience, understanding, and able to listen. Like he now talks nonstop. He's
making up for time, hey?
Yes. So now they both go. So yeah. So it's we're working on to get him funding. He had funding up until he was 18, and then lost his aid because he turned 18. So that was the unfortunate. And to tell your child that this gentleman that's been working with him for 3 years, sorry, bud, you're 18. I guess that's it. You know, you're done.
Oh.
That was
ouch,
devastating to him. So right now we have somebody who comes once a month, and we pay out of pocket for that because he needs to have that. I mean, they don't just turn 18 and that's it. You know, he has AISH. We're working on trying to get him work. He's going into a program that will help him with life skills. He's going to do okay. They're all going to do fine. They just don't take the straight road. Sometimes it's a little curvy and just takes a little longer to get there.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Because the time is going by, we're already at 18 minutes. We're doing really well.
Wow.
We're going to show some picture of Christine's family shortly. But before we do, I had a couple more questions to help people at home. You talk about self-care for parents that are dealing with kids with special need. And also, what would you recommend for young parents that just discovered they have children, their child has a special need? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think self-care, I think one of the most important things is, you know what, is to take time for yourself. You know, take time for yourself. I know that I've met a lot of people. Nope, there's no time. There's no time. My husband worked out of town, and I have these guys, and when they're bedtime, so I lost a lot of sleep, but I have MTO ladies, and it's my mom's timeout group. And Dana, you're well familiar with that, and so are you, Chantal. It saved me. Friends saved me. If I couldn't see anybody, and there was times when I was isolated, definitely in home, and it wasn't COVID, it was because we couldn't leave. People did not understand the outburst that my son was having. So I felt like I was alone. And you know what? I wasn't. A phone call away. And I probably wore Chantal out, and wore Tammy out, and probably you, Dana, and Cindy. And there was a lot of them that I probably wore out But I'm so blessed to have you guys there because friends are there. And the ones that are going to stick around are the ones worth keeping. You know what? Yes.
Oh, so the question from Chantel is, can you shed some light on Michael's diagnosis of childhood schizophrenia?
He was diagnosed when he was 10.
Okay.
And you know, it was a hard diagnosis to hear. At that time, I used to think, there's no hope for him. You know, they wanted to send him away. And I said, no. You know what? So they wanted to send him into a home because he was very abusive at the time and a lot of outbursts and people didn't understand. And you know what? He spent a year and 3 months in the hospital. He lived there. We visited him weekly. He was home on the weekends, but we had to put him into such an intense program to figure out. They didn't know what he had. So when they diagnosed him at 10, we were given a lot of the strategies. The Glenrose and the team of doctors and nurses were fantastic. We were given strategies to work with him. It wasn't a life sentence. It was, you know what? I learned a lot from that. And he's my gentle giant now. He was a tiny little, firecracker, and he's joy now. I mean, it's not devastation that any of these mental illnesses, they're not. You just got to find the light in these guys, and you got to find out how to work them. Talk to people, talk to your friends, and don't hide away. Be honest. I probably drove everybody crazy, but
no, not at all.
Talk to people.
I love you.
Because
reach out.
Yeah, reach out. You got to
reach out.
And you know what? Don't be ashamed. These are your blessings. You know what? And they really, really are. They're gifts. And you know what? You learn a lot from them. You learn who you are. Thank you, Chantel. He is. Yeah. You know what? Listen to the doctors, listens to the nurses. Sometimes they tell you things you don't want to hear. And sometimes they tell you things to maybe work with them. It's easier to just say, hey, you know what? Yep, go play a game. You know what? No, it was hard work.
I bet.
And maybe be humble. Be humble and realize that maybe we don't know all the answers. We can learn from a lot of people. And maybe some of the people, you lose friends along the way, yes. You know what? But you gain some, and you gain some for a short period and some of them for a long period. But you know what? Take every day for what it is. I mean, not everybody, it's not an easy road. And not everybody can have the patience and understanding that you do. So, even when it comes to your friends, you got to cut them some slack a little bit, I think, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. And if it's okay with you, Christine, we're going to start showing some pictures. And in the bottom of the screen, I just put your Facebook information. So Christine is a beautiful person. And I'm sure if somebody, a new parent has a question for Christine, I'm sure that they can send you a quick private message. Would that be okay? And
of course.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So, and then after the picture, we're still going to answer that question about what you would recommend for new parents. Okay.
Yes.
Oops.
That's not my child.
Well, sorry, I read it the wrong way. She's the dessert. Okay. So we'll start at the beginning. Who's this cutie pie?
That's Justin. Justin was about 5 at the time. And that was when he's an active kid. That was when I was a single parent at that time. 4, I think.
He's so cute there. Hey.
Yes. That's Justin and I. We to this day are still very close.
Did you make that cake?
I did.
Oh, that looks good. You're a good baker. She's a great baker.
I'm not a good baker. I like decorating. I'm not a good baker, though.
Oh.
Don't taste it, as I've been told.
Oh, okay. So she's a good decorator, and also she never misses an MTO meeting. She's got the best attendance record. I just wanted to give you kudos.
Thank you. And Justin again.
Yeah, a little bit older and a beautiful smile. And then I remember this.
I knew you were going to put that one up. This is when I met Dana around this age.
Yeah.
And Dana and he went to cadets, and Dana used to be his driver at sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very.
He's never tipped me. I don't understand.
I don't know why he
driving.
didn't. I don't know.
That's him now.
Well, that is. Yeah, he's my handsome boy.
How old is Justin now?
He's 28.
28.
And he's expecting his third child.
Congratulations, Michaela and Justin. That's awesome. Who's this cutie?
That's Brittany. And yeah, she was always into mischief. She still is. She's a comical one.
Yes, she's always likes to joke around, and she has a great sense of humor, doesn't she?
She does.
Oh, yeah. Look at that one. That's so cute. Brittany. Oh, she's so cute there.
You know what? When Brittany has two moods, it's that what you're seeing on the screen, happy or not happy. That's there's no in between. It's up or down with her. And you know what? It's just you got to work how to communicate with that one. Each of them have their own language, and I'm still trying to figure her out. I'm getting better at it, though, I think.
But you're trying, so that's good. And that's a beautiful picture of Brittany and her older brother.
Yeah, that's Brittany on her grade 12 graduation.
Oh, I love the corsage and her dress and her hair. She looks so nice, eh?
Yeah, that's probably the only time we'll see her like that.
No.
She's very independent when it comes to her own style, and I put her in dance, and I couldn't do her hair, and I shouldn't say I couldn't. She was a fight.
You're not gonna sugarcoat it.
She won 100%. I was done.
So what is that?
She is now. She actually she goes to Adaptabilities online during COVID. So she was doing a craft program online with me. And I worked with her because she had some anxiety about it. So she made a Canada Day flag, and she did the hat on her head. She decorated it, and very proud of it. She's very proud to be a Canadian. And usually we have big celebrations on Canada Day, and we didn't this year. So that's what she did.
Oh, I love it. And
There's
then
Mike.
we're going to move to Michael.
Yeah. There's my
youngest.
He's my little one.
He's not so little anymore, hey?
The end pictures, yes.
Look how
There's
cute
Michael.
he is there.
Very
so
serious.
Cute. Oh,
this is when, Michael's very serious. He was. He still is. He kind of.
I love his questions. He always have good questions and curious mind.
He always does. Yeah, there's Michael now. That's the current picture of Mike. And he just graduated. And he's amazing too. Oh my God.
Look how nice he looks like.
There he is. Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah. Aww. That's just a recent picture. So
that's the three kids together.
Yeah, there's the three of them. Justin and Brittany were very close. Michael really he doesn't connect. He does have he's on the spectrum for autism. He doesn't connect a whole lot. He plays alongside you. He talks kind of, beside you. Does it about what he wants to talk about.
Yes.
And I'd like to recreate this picture when they get a bit older.
Oh, that's a good idea. But talking about a man who likes to talk about what they like to talk about, it's quite familiar, isn't it?
I think so. I
think a lot of guys do that, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, who is this?
That's Michaela, Justin, and Katie and Callie. So those are my grandchildren. And that's Michaela, and she's 4 months right now.
Congratulations. And the girls just had a birthday, right?
They did. Yeah. They just had a birthday, and they're 7 and 9.
7 and 9.
They're just,
Who's that handsome fella?
That's my husband, John. And you know what? I couldn't have done this without him as well. You know what? He worked out of town. He does a lot of work out of town. And you know what? He's made it so I never had to worry. I was always secure. I never had to worry about work.
Oh, thank you. That's way to go, John.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's all of us. Michael was not happy that day. He had to walk down the aisle of my sister's wedding, and he did not want to do it.
Look at
And I don't
Dustin's
think he
hair.
did.
He had the Bieber. I remember he used to go like this with his hair all the time.
Yeah, he had the beaver hair.
Oh my goodness. Do you remember all the boys at that cut? And they would go like this.
Yeah, I
Chantal,
do.
ask her. Chantal in the audience, did Jacob do that too? Like the
Oh, Jacob. Yeah. So this is
there
my
she is. That's
here's Chantel.
yeah.
And you know what? We've had the opportunity to go on 3. Is it 3? I can't remember now.
3?
I think maybe it's 2. I'm sorry, Chantel. I can't remember now. But
Write it down, Chantal.
please type it in. I can't remember. She should be on the show with me. Yeah. You know what? We've been online researching so much. She's the extension of my memory when I cannot remember. And
that's a beautiful group photo.
So that's Chantel's family. We all went to Disney. We have all gone a cruise. And you know what? They always, you know what? That's the one thing I do appreciate about Chantel is that her family never, judged her. They just accepted my whole family, all their quirks and everything. And they wanted to go on vacation with us. Wow.
Oh,
Nothing said.
I second that. They're beautiful. The Simon family rocks. I love these people.
Love them. That's a picture from our last cruise last May.
Oh,
and that was what I woke up to one morning. It's my favorite. It's in the middle of the Caribbean, and that is on my phone as a screensaver.
I hope you get to go soon.
You know what? I do, and that, you know what? People want to know how I cope. It's this little one. I cope with Bella.
Bella.
I can talk to her. I can cry with her. It's you know what? She brings so much joy, and just peace as well. Just to be able to listen. She listens to me, mind you. I don't listen to her, but
well,
my daughter thinks that I love Bella more than her. I told her, yeah, you're right.
They go through a phase like that, don't they? Hey, they keep score sometimes. Kids keep score sometimes about gifts and love, and that's okay. It makes them, well, anyway. No comment. So, Christine, we're at the time. We have to wrap the show up. So, do you have any last advice for new parents or any departing words of wisdom that you want to share with everybody at home?
You know what? Don't give up. This will pass. You know what? Every day is a clean slate. You wake up, you get to start over again. That's the beauty of it, and today is going to be better, and maybe it won't, but you will learn something from those days that are the hardest, and they will really, really show you who you are, and you've been chosen for this job. Don't give up, because it's so rewarding and it's so worth it, and I'm here for any questions, and I'm still on this journey, and I thought I was going to be done, but it looks like I'm going to have to do some more advocating, but that's okay. You know what? It's just, what? We were born for this,
Yes, I just, so beautiful, Christine. Thank you so much. And like she said, everybody, life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So build endurance and learn coping mechanism to deal with your family. Like parenting is a marathon too.
It is.
So it's not a sprint. It goes fast, but you need endurance. So I want to thank everybody for watching the show that came in and commented. You guys are so appreciated. We love you guys. And Christine, I'm just so grateful that you came in and share your story. And I could have spent another 5 hours like just talking, but we just wanted to plant a seed and say that you're not alone dealing with people with special need, and keep going. And you said, don't give up, right? Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Okay.
If it's going to be the worst day ever, you'll make it through the storm. You will.
Okay.
The rainbow and the beauty you're going to see after is amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
and I can't wait for that day. So.
Yeah, I can't wait. And I can't wait to see you taking more ocean pictures, right?
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you for just having this platform to be able to share this. You know what? You're not alone. And COVID is tough and mental health is tough. It all is. But thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you to the doctors, Chantel, all my friends, everybody who's been there and been a part. You know what? I'm so appreciative of you. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Well, on that note, everybody, have a great week. Take care of one another, love each other, and we'll see you soon for another show. And Christine, have a great week. And everybody, you can leave your comments and questions, and Christine will go back and hopefully answer some of them in the comment section. And okay, so that's the wrap up, and we'll see you soon. So bye, everybody. Take care.